We managed to go down more than 14 pounds in a few days to make weight 204 this morning in order to make the weight to compete on Saturday.
So Mike Sommerfeld has officially made weight in his new height category, where he had to weigh less than 204 pounds. And I've been sent this video by a few people now, and as you can see, in the days leading up to the weigh-in, he states that he actually cut 14 pounds to make that weight. So we're going to speculate on how he might have been able to actually achieve that. How can you take off 14 pounds of body weight in such a short period of time? Now, I don't know Mike, so this is purely speculation of what I think he could have possibly done. So the first thing that is very likely is that he pulled his carbohydrate intake down. So when we consume carbohydrate, that gets stored as something called glycogen within the muscle and within the liver. But every gram of glycogen is bound to around 3 grams of water. So if you pull your carbohydrates down and subsequently your glycogen stores become depleted, you're going to lose a lot of weight as a consequence of that. The next thing he more than likely did was cut his sodium. So sodium is going to cause water retention within the cells of the body. So if you pull down your sodium, then you're going to have less water retention. So you're going to weigh less. You're going to be holding less water. The next thing he more than likely did was reduce his fiber intake. So fiber, it slows down digestion and it creates a lot of bulk, a lot of stool, a lot of residue within those intestines. So by pulling that out, he's going to have less physical weight sat inside his intestines. He probably reduced his food volume, so the weight of his food. So essentially he would have opted for more energy dense foods. So instead of your porridges, your lots of fruits and veggies, he might have opted for things like honeys, peanut butters, dried fruit, really dense energy sources of food. He may have done a water loading approach, so he might have loaded up on 5, 6, 7 litres of water per day for the past few days before then restricting it the day before he weighed in. Maybe he did. As an example, Mike might have consumed 6 litres for the 3 days leading up to it, and then the day before the weigh-in, he might have cut that down to 1 litre or half a litre. And then I'm sure at some point he would have done some sort of either active or passive sweat loss. So perhaps he did some hot baths and then some mummy wraps, or potentially used a sauna to take out some of the fluid to bring that weight right down. And I'm not too sure whether the IFBB allow this or not, or if the athletes are drug tested. I haven't got a clue, and maybe someone can help me out on this. But if he was allowed to, perhaps he also took a diuretic, which is of course very dangerous, but he may have done that to just excrete more fluid out of the body.